time to get geeked up.
I guess that'll kind of get us into the breakdown then. Should we?
Sure.
Give you
I guess the only thing I'd say on that, though, is that as a 90s comic, that your bit as a 90s comic hardly ever stands up to nowadays. And I feel like Sandler doing the exact same thing he was doing back then, now on this comedy special, still totally plays. You know what I mean?
Yeah, that's a good call.
Something
They didn't really have to evolve.
Silly voices
silly,
and silly songs are
songs
timeless.
Yeah, that's true.
I know. Have you ever
Chris Rock,
watched David
irrelevant
Spade
humor
stand up now from back then? It's brutal, dude.
Yeah.
Brutal. But you see him now on his show on Comedy Central, and he's fucking hilarious.
Yeah.
But it's
no, comedy is the kind of thing that does get dated. Even classic comedy movies, which would be interesting to go back. I still hold Billy Madison a timeless classic.
Yeah.
However, Animal House, hunk of shit, overrated hunk of shit. And it might be just a sign of the era that you're from. Maybe some douche 10 years younger than us looks
but
at Billy
Caddyshack
Madison.
sucks dick.
Happy Gilmore on the other hand.
One, dude. A timeless classic.
Yeah. So I guess that we've done enough teasing the Sandler resume, and I guess we did it to you last week, where I gave you the in honor of Stephen King's epic catalog of work. We gave you his list of movies that started with the letter C for no reason.
That's right.
But now we're gonna give you Sandler, and this one a much more comprehensive list. I'm pretty much giving you all this stuff, especially when we get to main heart of Sandler time. All right, giving you pretty much the whole run through, and really just an overwhelming just barrage of movies where you can picture the douchey movie poster at the very least. All right, and I want Devin to play a little game as I run through, especially when I get in the kind of the meat of the IMDb list. But I want to give you the seen it, not seen it list.
Gotcha.
Because we're gonna be amazed at how many of these hunk of shit Sandler movies we've seen.
I'm gonna be honest.
It's just amazing.
I probably have seen most every movie you're about to rattle off, dude.
And I guess it starts even before the movies and even before SNL that I was surprised to learn. I guess one of his early breaks was he was a recurring cast member on The Cosby Show.
Okay.
A little bit before our time, like me and Devin say, we're kids of the 90s, both 36. I say for us, TV started around the early 90s. We started, so the 80s we kind of missed, we're not familiar with every Cosby Show episode, much like Leo in The Growing Pains.
Yeah.
I know it existed, but so I guess Sandler played, I'm guessing, Cosby's daughter's white boyfriend.
Yeah, right. You out of your mind in the Huxtable house? No, he was one of Theo's. I actually know stuff about this.
Okay.
He was actually one of Theo's
friends.
dopey friends, and I think he got him in trouble. Now there's this
other white kid that gets Theo in trouble.
Okay, there's also this old running theory that you'll hear old white racist people say, but a lot of them are every white person that's on the Cosby Show is portrayed as a bumbling idiot.
Okay, interesting.
And Adam Sandler, if this theory holds true,
that's a perfect cast job for Sandler.
No,
is he singing
does
the
not
song
slouch
about
in the
black
role.
people?
But he's just "So sorry, Dr. Huxtable. I thought whiskey would be all right. It's prom night."
Perfect. I guess Sandler as well on that same kind of theme. Another hilarious highlight of the IMDb schedule, but
so I guess I'd be half a seen it. I remember I could picture them all standing in tuxedos and with their heads down.
For a show that came out when we were 4, you're doing pretty good. But I guess an early also ABC after school special, Sandler plays quote unquote the drug dealer.
Did he just stumble on set?
I mean, it might be a reoccurring cast from Cosby Show.
Yeah, who's he selling to? Rob Schneider.
Yeah, for real.
Okay, I have not seen that.
So then, of course, as well, left off of the IMDb list for some reason, however, me and Devin as well, if you recall, may know him from the early days of MTV.
Okay.
With our main man, Colin Quinn.
Which is the most ridiculous show of all time. Colin Quinn.
But Colin Quinn played, which was a thing, again, kind of before our time. kind of before our time, so not exactly familiar with it when it aired, more as like a pop culture thing. And I always thought that it was hilarious. First of all, Colin Quinn, like snarky, grumpy Colin Quinn of the late 90s,
being on like the cutting edge of MTV.
Exactly.
Hey, what's going on, kids?
That's the more wild thing to think about.
Show, and Adam Sandler's being goofy over there. You know?
It is just, especially like the Colin Quinn now, to think of him as like, welcome to remote control.
Yeah, dude. And he was like the first,
insane.
and that was MTV's first ever non-musical programming.
Yeah.
Was a game show.
Starring the guy. What's all you douches trying to answer these questions? You know?
Yeah, it's wild. And like,
Sandler sitting over there.
Now-
Colin, I'm asking the question. I don't know. I don't know.
When I was in New York, and I had a tour guide who I didn't like, and I said, "Nice try, pal."
I guess that's one of those shows too, kind of like the Cosby Show, but something I think I probably found out about after I started liking, because again, it was a little before. It was like 87, 88.
No, for sure.
It was airing, so again, 5-year-old me wasn't watching that.
No doubt, yeah. But it was always something that was talked about.
Yeah.
It was the early days. Also, who's the other hilarious guy? Jeff Ober or whatever, that dude that like wound up. He was in a lot of the bad '90s, early '90s movies.
Okay.
But was also on that show. Also, Roger Kabler, I think, who's the other like bad early '90s comic that would do bad impressions and stuff.
Yeah,
Exactly.
Yeah.
It was like all these like just classic late 80s bad comics, and then Sandler and then
Colin Quinn, you know,
right.
right away over here. When can I start doing my political humor in front of you kids?
When do we get to go on Saturday Night Live?
I guess that was what was next from Mr. Sandler. Scaddy-dah-loo-hoo was Saturday Night Live, however.
As in 1990.
Yeah, wow.
Sandler started the epic SNL career from 90 to 95. So we are talking about, especially for, like, I love to point out children of the 90s over here, but really the true golden age of SNL. And I'm looking right at you, Belushi and Piscopo.
yeah. Fuck off, Bill Murray.
You know, for real. Dan Aykroyd or whatever. But no, but for real.
Eddie Murphy? Who?
But when you just look at the cast on SNL that Sandler worked with over his time, of course, you got Dana Carvey and Mike Myers, Chris Farley and Chris Rock, Kevin Nealon, like you talked about, and Rob Schneider and David Spade, that are like his
insane,
closest boys, as well as Phil Hartman, one of the comedic geniuses of all
Phil
time.
Hartman. Wasn't what's his face on there too?
What's his face was on there.
It's a marsupial. Isn't that Dennis Miller time? Isn't
Dennis Miller was maybe probably right around there, if not a couple years earlier. Maybe Will Ferrell on the back end.
I mean, that would have been. I remember.
Too early.
I think that's too early.
Too early.
'Cause I think Will Ferrell and that whole cast.
But
the Chris
Norm
Kattan,
on the back end.
Norm now is one of those people that
Tim
like,
Meadows probably on the back end.
Tim Meadows probably for all of that. Man, Meadows was on
Jay
there for
Moore
a long time.
was another guy that was
Sure.
popping. And Chris Elliott, I think, was
Conan O'Brien.
Conan was a writer. David Tale were writers for that cast.
That's crazy.
I
right?
mean, it's just absolutely insane when you just watch
really
those
is.
sketches. Just every person in the sketch, including Conan and David Tell, is like the background guys. They're just all like comedy legends almost.
And arguably, I guess
And then
behind
there's Ellen Cleghorn.
Julia Sweeney.
Let's not forget Ellen Cleghorn.
Yeah, I remember watching this one thing once with not to get into too much in SNL, but
Bring it on, bro.
Julia Sweeney.
Although,
I think was
spoiler
like
alert, we're getting into it later.
post like one of those VH1 interviews things, talked about how much she hated being on that cast because she would have like a fun Weekend Update character planned
hilarious.
out, and they'd be like, "Sorry, it's getting bumped. Sandler's got a new song about his red-headed sweatshirt."
Yeah. Sorry, Julia Sweeney. You're on
But
the back.
like-
You're on the back of the line to Mike Myers.
But even in that cast too, I would say second best Weekend Update host, maybe behind Norm, but Kevin Nealon was
Kevin Nealon and
was
Sandler
one of
Mafia,
the
like we said,
was
for
one of the
sure.
best Weekend Update hosts. I'd say
Definitely.
Norm, then Kevin Nealon.
Subliminal hint, Devin's an asshole. Subliminal hint, Devin's an asshole. Yes, he was very good at doing the show. But Kevin Nealon, and then also who we just mentioned, Colin Quinn. That was literally working with But there's your, entire 90s SNL, dating back to Mr. Marsupial Man himself. But I think we went from Dennis Miller to Kevin Nealon
Yeah.
to Norm to Colin.
Correct. I think, yeah.
To Tina Fey? Did she take over?
I think Fallon was there before.
Fallon,
I think
right.
it was Fallon and Tina Fey.
Yes.
And then it was
Somewhere about
Tina Fey and Amy Poehler, then Amy Poehler and Seth Meyers.
Yes.
Then just
Michael
Seth
Shea.
Meyers, and then Michael Shea and Colin Jost.
Wow, we really nailed it.
I think
It was,
Chevy Chase was
who
the first
was
one.
before Dennis Miller? Any idea? Or you said Chevy Chase was the first one? Yeah, because there was
Chevy
Jane,
Chase would have been the
you
original.
slut.
Yeah, and then
Oh.
Dan Aykroyd and
Okay,
Jane
interesting.
Curtin was the next one.
Okay. Hilarious. All right. So there was
Who
the.
cares?
So those are the. And we're going to get back into some other SNL talk later. Spoiler alert. Kitschy questions coming up. But so that brings us to our SNL, through the SNL portion of Sandler, I guess, kind of spiraling into his film career via SNL, however, with his first role, I'd say, was Coneheads.
For sure.
Where he played the boyfriend, correct?
No, Chris Farley played the
Okay,
boyfriend.
Chris Farley played the boyfriend. Sandler was, what, again, dopey friend?
Yeah,
or-
exactly. I think he was worked at the mechanic place.
Okay.
And he was like, Farley, he was like, "Hey, what's going on with you?"
All right, I see. So, and then another similar kind of dopey supporting friend role. Great movie. Tell me if you know where I'm going. Was kind of the back seat, but amazing.
Airheads?
Airheads.
Are you going
exactly.
Airheads?
I'm going
Yeah.
Airheads. Where's Brendan
Yeah,
Fraser?
dude. The Lone Rangers
The Lone
themselves.
Rangers, exactly. Great movie. Some shitty band hijacks a radio station to get their demo played.
Was this now, do you think, the first, him and Buscemi's first
oh, great call.
beginning of the friendship of Buscemi and
probably where
Sandler?
they
It's got to
met.
be, right?
Yeah, for sure. Buscemi somehow not making SNL, but Airhead's great movie from the '90s. And then here's another one that was on the list. I'm going to ask you about. I'm not familiar. Could it be one that I missed or a just a Sandler dud? But Mixed Nuts.
Mixed Nuts
Any
is a
idea?
Steve Martin
Okay,
movie.
interesting.
Where Steve Martin is a I think psychiatrist, and
All right.
different people show up at his
Okay.
house. I remember there's a very young Ray Donovan in drag in that
All
movie.
right, interesting.
But
Probably lots of other young people because Sandler was a young someone.
Yeah, I
in
think
Mixed
he just
Nuts.
has one of those cameo roles where
Yeah.
he's just one of the patients.
So I guess that
Never
was
seen
kind
it,
of
though.
it for Sandler. I'd say first era of Sandler's career. All right, getting us into 1995. He's just leaving SNL and done with these supporting cast roles. He's done with being the drummer. Now he's Billy Madison.
Oh, yes.
Starting in '95, I'm going to rattle off a couple of flicks. He goes Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Bulletproof.
Hell yeah, Dana
The
Wayne's-
Wedding Singer.
Nice.
The Water Boy,
Okay.
Big Daddy,
Nice.
Little Nicky,
Oh, yes.
The Animal, which I guess is really Schneider's movie.
Yeah,
but
he's-
Sandler's,
yeah, he's barely in it.
I guess, yeah, for sure, barely in it. I guess there's
That's like a Will Ferrell cameo role.
No, for sure. There's a list of cameos as well. He's also in around this time Dirty Work as well as Deuce Bigelow, the other
Yeah.
Schneider thing. So I guess that one doesn't really count in the
Dirty
list
Work, what?
of-
He's the devil, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
Exactly. But okay, so from Little Nicky, however, so I guess Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Bulletproof, Wedding Singer, Waterboy, Big Daddy, Little Nicky.
Yeah.
Epic stretch, bringing us to 2002. All right, so 7 years of fucking sick movies. 2002 goes serious on us. Punch Drunk Love.
Yeah.
Okay. Then Mr. Deeds, 8 Crazy Nights, and
Cartoon.
Anger Management. Which
Okay.
all big, huge blockbusters. 8 Crazy Nights especially, not necessarily our favorite, but turned into a holiday classic, a perfect
I'll
platform.
say I like 8
for
Crazy
his-
Nights more than I like Anger Management.
No, that's true. I'll
Okay.
give you that. Anger Management with Jack Nicholson,
Mm-hmm.
huge blockbuster, definitely fell short. Potentially where it all kind of starts falling apart for Sandler, right? Because from Anger Management, now we got 50 First Dates.
Okay.
We're going back
But 50
serious.
First Dates was huge. It was a huge
movie.
hit.
Huge
Yeah,
hit.
people loved that movie.
I mean, did they? Schneider being the Rastafari guy that kept a joint in his ass crack, hilarious.
Yeah.
Rest of the movie, not so much. But okay, a huge hit, I guess. 50 for Spanglish. Back to serious. The remake of The Longest Yard.
Okay.
Major blockbuster. Anyway, Click.
Yeah,
which was
okay.
like the weird kind of,
Fast forward, rewind,
exactly.
Christopher Walken.
I pronounce you Chuck and Larry.
Okay, that was
Big
another
smash.
big movie, yeah.
Now we're at 07, all right? So we're talking, over 10 years of Sandler's career. All right, now, maybe I jumped the gun on 50 First Dates. However, now I can argue is when Sandler kind of is really starting to fucking run off the rails as we go, Don't Mess with the Zohan.
Okay.
That came out, I remember, a very depressing summer in my life where it was Don't Mess with the Zohan, and then The Love Guru, the Michael Myers movie came out, and I was like, wow, my two childhood heroes officially blow.
Yeah.
Like,
shit.
wow. So Don't Mess with the Zohan. I guess funny people thrown in there.
Funny People, I think, is
like
great
for sure.
First hour and a half. Really
Cool
depressing
movie.
closing hour and a half.
Not supposed to be a comedy. It was a drama Sandler kind of movie. But so I'll give him that one. However, I'm going Don't Mess with the Zohan. Growing Ups.
Okay.
All right.
But Grown Ups, you could argue, is kind of a hit.
No,
we
for
kind
sure.
of find his niche.
Major blockbuster.
And I think that was the whole sell. It was like, look, it's all of Adam Sandler's friends in a movie. It was like Rock,
Chris Rock,
Sandler,
Spade. He's He's now
Schneider.
Kevin James somehow.
Well, they're bringing back
big,
that
goofy
Chuck and Larry magic.
No, I was
going to
say he somehow wound up in the Sandler Mafia after Chuck and Larry.
Yeah.
But so Grown Ups is a big smash. Just Go With It. Major rom-com, I believe, with Aniston and Brooklyn Decker, the supermodel. I believe that was that one.
I thought that was Blended.
I think
was
Blended's
that one.
another super.
Oh, you're right. I think they did do two movies
yes,
together. You're
him
right.
and Aniston did.
Let's just go with it.
Same fucking movie.
Yeah, okay, sure,
rom-com
sure.
on the beach. We forgot to be giving you the Seen It, Yes, Seen It, No's, by the way.
Yeah, well,
but
there you
pretty
go.
much I'm running 90% on most of these movies.
Yeah.
So from Just Go With It. Now we got a back-to-backer of Jack and Jill.
Oh, that's my brother.
And That's My Boy, where he plays his own sister and then a grandma in back-to-back movies.
That's My Boy. He plays Andy Samberg's dad.
Andy Samberg's grandma, though, right?
His dad.
Oh, his dad.
His dad. This is his normal dad.
Oh, I thought
but
it was
doing
his
a
grandma.
fucking hilarious Boston accent.
Okay, how are you there, son? Very good job there.
All right, nice.
Now, Tom Brady tattoo on my back.
So That's My Boy. Then we got Grown Ups 2.
Uh-huh.
All right. So now...
Not as good. They lose Schneider in the sequel.
my
Whatever
God.
fucking Schneider
Killed
was
off
up to.
in the,
Yeah.
So that brings us to 2014 is Blended,
Okay.
the other Aniston one.
Okay.
Without the hot swimsuit model, however. The Cobbler, all right, which was...
The Cobbler. Oh, that was the one where he puts on someone else's shoes. You walk a mile in someone's shoes. I think it was supposed to be
kind of like
serious.
A
Yeah.
comedy,
Magical kind
drama,
of. Yeah.
Sci-fi. In the mix as well, he also found himself in the Hotel Transylvania animated series, making gazillions of dollars off of those, as
Big
well as
hits.
Pixels. Another animated smash hit with his boy Kevin James,
Yeah.
the new Sandler Mafia member. All right, now entering the current phase of Sandler's career, however, with 2015 signs the epic contract with Netflix and Chat. Right, as we're going. This was actually the first Netflix and Chat movie, I believe.
Was the Ridiculous
Six? Yes.
Starting off hot.
Starting off hot with the Ridiculous Six, and just in terms really starting off hot. At this point, Netflix is an unestablished, production platform, coming out with all of these stars, getting every one of his friends to do cameos for some shitty.
Yeah, I don't think it's that hard for him at
streaming
this
service.
point, though.
No, that's true. But I mean, it's like
Guys, I'm going to make a movie. Is everyone ready to get paid standard minimum?
yes, sir, Adam Sandler, sir.
I will be getting paid $20 million.
So we got Ridiculous Six, The Do-Over, I believe yet another Jennifer Aniston
Jesus
or
Christ.
Drew
Maybe
Barrymore.
a Drew Barrymore.
Yeah. Sandy Wexler.
I've seen Sandy Wexler.
Right.
Oh, the Do-Over? No, the Do-Over is him and Spade. I've seen that.
Okay,
It's
that-
him
like
and
an
Spade,
action-adventure.
and he's like an FBI agent.
Okay,
Spade's
yes.
a loser.
All right, that's true. Sandy Wexler.
He plays the agent.
Okay, The Week of...
The week of is he plays a dad, him and Chris Rock.
Chris Rock, yeah,
Uh-huh.
before the wedding.
Like his daughter's marrying Sandler's son, or vice versa.
Back with Jennifer Aniston, I believe, in Murder Mystery.
Yep. Him and Aniston, a murder mystery. I've seen it.
And then I believe not a Netflix and Chatter, but upcoming release, bringing us all the way to the future Uncut Gems, which I like to talk about.
Okay.
Yet another like
Is it a
depressing
comedy or
dark.
serious?
No, I think it's a serious role. He plays like a New York City diamond exchange.
Who's gonna
jeweler.
cut all these gems?
Exactly.
How these gems are uncut?
Hey, well,
Who's
you
gonna
do.
cut them? I do.
Oh, I have so many gems over here. Yes,
But just an absolutely amazing just run of movies for real. Like another,
I want to say besides Uncut Gems, I've seen almost every one
no,
of them.
but I mean for real. Even the bad ones. I mean, straight on through. We're gonna go through them all again, honestly. But Coneheads, Airheads, Billy Madison, Happy Gilmore, Bulletproof, Wedding Singer, Waterboy, Big Daddy, Little Nicky, all in the '90s. All absolute must-sees of the '90s. Am I wrong?
Yeah, no, for sure. I mean, Billy
uh,
Madison kind of just.
I mean,
even
for
talking
sure.
about like the albums is there's still shit I will say to this day.
100%.
And then like I don't know if people know what I'm talking about. I feel like that one more so. But if it's really hot out, you might hear me be like, it's too damn hot for penguins to be running around. Nudie
Yes,
Magazine
great call.
Day. Oh, Nudie Magazine Day.
So then into 2000s, however,
Want
the
to
whole
touch the Heidi.
stretch of movies, not exactly thought of as classics, but huge names, quality stuff. Punch Drunk Love, Mr. Deeds, 8 Crazy Nights, Anger Management, 51st Stage, Spanglish, Longest Yard Click, Chuck and Larry, Funny People, The Grown Up series, for 10 years, like, all right, no classics, but name another, comedic actor banging out that high volume of movies in a decade, and then as of late, the production hasn't really stopped, but if this movie was any, reflection on movies, he's still doing very Sandler-esque stuff. Having a good time, which is a very, like, another Sandler thing you do gotta appreciate, but he's got an extremely diverse range of movies, but they're all very Sandler, like, goofy.
What
wacky.
do you think comes first, the voice or like the character in the movie? Or is he just like, I like to do this voice? Oh, what if a guy like this played football? You know what I mean?
Yeah, no, I'm going probably more character because it's like very common themes. There's either like he's dating a hot chick or playing a tough guy.
Yeah.
No,
you're right.
Pretty
There's
much
very,
every role
like,
he knocks somebody out.
he's either super
in lots
cool
of rom-coms.
Or like a big loser. You know what I mean?
That's true.
Yeah, he's either like the coolest
Like an
guy.
over-the-top, crazy, retarded loser. Or the coolest guy.
Or like the
you
coolest
said.
guy you've ever met. Or Steve Polychronopoulos.
But I mean, he's as well got like, he wants to try to punch through as a serious actor. So he's got a whole bunch of, Punch Drunk Love, Funny People, like we said, real solid.
Funny People, yeah, is a good
probably
one.
his best serious work.
That one's good because he plays fun of himself too. He's basically playing like a dark version of himself in that movie. Because there's
true.
at least 2 different times in that movie where they talk about like the goofy movies he's made in that movie, where he's
just
the
cheesy,
baby
stupid.
genie.
Yeah, for sure.
But I didn't wish to be this
Speaking
small.
of those movies, he's got lots of those with, like we were saying, the whole Grown Up series, as well as the Longest Yard, like mega cast remake, and Anger Management with Jack Nicholson, or Chuck and Larry with Kevin James,
For sure.
like huge stars, but yet then still the ridiculous, goofy Sandler shit, like Jack and Jill or
But dude,
Zohan.
Jack and Jill with fucking Al Pacino. You know what I mean? Like,
Yeah, that's true.
Al
Like-
Pacino is like top of the call sheet on that movie, right behind Sandler. It's insane. And Pacino was
Somehow
heard to
behind
say like,
Sandler.
It was one of the funniest scripts I've ever read.
it's like, dude, Pacino's fucking lost his mind. But again, a great time for Sandler to like be both of those things where like him as Jack is like really cool and runs a business and does that, and then he
No,
also
great
gets
call,
to
yeah, for
play
sure.
like, oh, I'm Jill and I'm crazy and I get to do this voice.
Ooh, baby, it's time to get geeked up.